What's up? What's up, all my people? I take it that we are live at this moment. This is going to be the first installment of many installments of the new vitamin D. Um, your host is going to be the twins, and we're just going to keep it that way for right now until I guess the audience give us our surnames, and we'll go by that. So right now, I'm twin one, and
I'm Twin Two. Hello. Hello,
yes.
everybody.
So
Ladies and gentlemen.
obviously, twin one is the one that was born first, and twin two is the one that was born second. So that's kind of how we got it right now.
Yes.
Uh, but no, I mean, so now we kind of like wanted to go ahead and do this podcast. We've been really talking about it behind the scenes. A lot of people been kind of like pushing me and me and Brandon, what I'm saying, to kind of go ahead and do it. You know what I'm saying? Me and brother to go ahead and do it. And we just decided to do it. And today was the day that we decided to do it. So this is the first day, first installment of many more. We're probably just gonna do an hour today because it is the playoffs. I mean, we are men, so we gotta respect that. You know what I mean? I hate to interrupt everything that y'all got going on, but we wanted to go ahead and do this today. I mean, we didn't want to get too far from, um, the death, of our late great brother, Kevin Samuels, without actually saying something to commemorate his death. Uh, bro, you want to say something?
Yeah, where are our manners? Candle of the evening.
Mm.
Uh, pomegranate. Um, um, you know what? It smells like um the beginning of sex. So we are going to put that there. And for the
What's your
fragrance.
fragrance? What's your fragrance? What's your fragrance? What you got?
My fragrance is the old school and the trusty and always a wonderful scent, which is a Tommy Hilfiger, man. Come,
Mm.
it just
From
it
what year?
smells like I'm better than you without actually saying it. So yeah, and gotta keep with the tradition of Kevin Samuels with Red Bull and a Remy glass. So is my boy Kevin Samuels.
Man, you doing it right, dog. I ain't have none of that prepared. Only
Hey,
thing I got,
listen,
I go ahead.
listen. We had to set it off right with the first installment of Vitamin D reboot, and no better way than to really come out and stand on two toes or 2 feet, um, in terms of where we stand as men, especially when it comes to the manosphere. Most people are not familiar with it. We're gonna get a little bit into it today, but this conversation is necessary, and I'm just excited to get into it.
Mhm. So my fragrance. Now Kevin did talk about this, and I was sitting back when he was talking about it. I was jumping up and down in my seat because I knew how difficult it was for me to get this fragrance again. So it's Yves Saint Laurent, and it's this version. And he talked about specifically like how this looked and how you could tell like the like the reboot, the remaster, and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And how they changed it. So he
Mm,
talked in depth about this specific brand. Like this one, you know what I'm saying, bro? You already know. Like it was hard for me to get this one. Like
right,
the
right.
dude ran off with my money. You know what I'm saying? When I was trying to get this one, like I was trying to get it on the hookup because no one had it. So
Mm,
this one is by Yves Saint Laurent. I don't know like the other stuff. I'm gonna have to get better by that. You know what I'm saying? This is the first episode, so I will be better by that. But this one has that little top and you know what I'm saying, have like the little faded glass. And but this one right here is like, if in Detroit we have these things called like linen events where we wearing white linen, the men wear white linen and stuff like this. This is, you need like just one spray of this in the hot area. Just one spray of this, man. I'm telling you, bro, you're gonna be famous. You're gonna be famous. You know what I'm saying? This East St.
Right.
Laurent. I love it.
Everybody
I love it.
want a ballroom hustle with the guy that smelled like Yves Saint Laurent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, like this, man. Oh my God, dude. Yeah, this one. Yeah. This is it right here. Yeah, I like that. You know what I'm saying?
nice,
Shout
nice.
out to homegirl, you know what I'm saying? Whitney B. You know,
Oh, tell
sports
it.
talk.
Oh, twin three. Tell her what's up,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
twin.
That's, you know what I'm saying?
Well, the triplet, the
That's
trip. I'm sorry, the
yeah,
trip.
that's the triplet right there. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? That's the
yeah.
homie.
That's what's up.
So,
Thanks
but
for tuning in, everybody.
yeah.
This is the first one, so we appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get into this, right?
Mm,
So what we're talking about? We're talking about the Manosphere. We're talking about Kevin Samuels. We're talking about his impact and his legacy. But we have to talk about the vitriol. Um, and we know things can be sensationalized because that's just who we are as humans. We're wired to exacerbate the things, excuse me, that are rare, and it's rare for an individual like this, as polarizing as he was, um, to receive this level of vitriol and backlash. But Vitamin D got a question. We got a question, and the question is, but was he wrong though? And really separating the messenger from the message. Was he wrong? And let's go over a few of the things that he talked about in terms of the specifics of what is wrong with the black community, and specifically the black woman in particular. And we can kind of go back and forth, Byron, but one of the first things that popped in my head is the high divorce rate. And to say high is not a respect for the number, an exorbitantly high. We're talking about 80% of all the divorces filed in black relationship is filed by the woman. Well, why is that? Is he wrong for requesting or making mention that black women need to stay in their relationships? Is he incorrect for stating that women need to choose better? They need to require commitment before they get that back blown out. So these type of things, holding themselves accountable. I apologize for anybody with children that was around when I said that word accountable, because it seems like it is the worst word that you can possibly say in the black lexicon. Jesus H. Christ. I mean, you could literally say anything other than accountability. What happened with being responsible for what you work so hard to get? And that's what being accountable is. You worked really hard to get your results. Why can't you lay in the pigsty or live in the heaven or hell that you created? And that's what we're going to talk about. Those are the things that just really just stroking Kevin Samuels' mission statement and ideology. He created an entire platform literally off, I want to say, maybe two or three talking points. And you would be surprised that each night everyone would come back to him to fight him like he's the final boss of the Manosphere and MGTOW, just to get slammed every single night. So let's get into it, Byron.
Yeah,
Was he
I'm
wrong?
with it, man. I'm with it. So my question is to you on this one is, how in the hell did we get so far away from being accountable for our actions as far as our women is concerned? Like, how did our women get so, from your vantage point, like,
Mm-hmm.
because you work in sales, you see
Mm-hmm.
this day in, day out, right?
Right.
How in the hell did women get so far away from, like like you said, you know what I'm saying, just, I mean, living in that pigsty? I mean, that's what you created. Like, how in the hell did they, like, just, how? You know what I mean? How aren't they dealing with the reality of what they
Well,
created?
well, the thing that there's always been, and Disney really did a good job creating the savior complex that
I heard that.
somebody
Yeah.
is going to come and remove you out of your circumstance. So you think about, especially as men, when we make a mistake, it is, the repercussions are deafening.
Hmm.
We can
And
ill
immediate. Hell yeah.
immediate, and
Yeah.
we can ill afford to make too many of them.
Yeah.
So the repercussions of our actions or inactions um, are unambiguous. It's very, very clear. That's not the case for women, and specifically Black women. They have not necessarily fallen very, very hard, because there's always a catcher's mitt, right? And you can talk about the catcher's mitt as these entitlement programs that was created back in 1973, where Black women in droves chose the government over their husband, and we were a part of that. We saw that. We didn't quite understand it, but we were definitely a part of not understanding why my father, whose last name I carry, has no obvious sign that he lives here, and that plays
Yeah,
in
we had
in the
had hide all the damn clothes,
yeah,
everything,
yeah.
all of the closets. It could not have been a male size anything in any
Hmm.
closet in the house. Like this was, you know what I'm saying? We in Detroit. Like we had to do this every month.
Hmm.
Every month. We had to
Yep.
hide everything from my father.
Yep.
But go ahead, bro.
No, and really, when you make the choice to um, go the path of least resistance, we know this in quantum mechanics and in
Thermodynamics.
HVAC. You know,
Yeah.
that's essentially what our women chose. They just stayed in that lane far too long, and it warped the mind of personal self accountability. Because more often than not, most people are capable, and I'm not saying that Black women are incapable of self-assessment. It's just really no true motivation to have to. You could literally believe you're Lizzo size and go out and state that you are a 10. There is no consequence for that belief. And that's what it really comes down to, consequences. And there's really not a lot of consequences for some of the vitriol, right, that we already are aware of, that was spewed about Kevin Samuels because he's a Black man. And we'll talk about that a little bit later, about how our women behave toward us as it relates to how other women of other ethnicities behave toward their men.
And,
um
and and that's the big one. That's the big one. That's the big one that a lot of us do not really want to tackle is how the women of other races responded to Kevin Samuels.
yeah,
They kind of responded to dude like duh, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Hmm.
That's how they response was when it came to Kev. Um, women of other races, but yeah, no, go ahead, continue, bro.
No, and even to speak on that point, right? That really was the mastery in Kevin, is that he did not really want an echo chamber. That wasn't really important to him. He wanted people who had conflict, or someone who wanted to challenge his ideas and ideologies, or not even his ideas, but just general male principle ideas. And anytime a woman, even from other races, would want to come on to either berate or even congratulate the message, he wouldn't allow it. And because there's a lot of, irrespective of the spectacle that was created out of his platform, this is a conversation that needed to be had for some time. Since the 70s, the late 70s, the mid to late 70s, we've kind of allowed things to go left, then right, then left, for far too long without checking ourselves, right? And I say ourselves because we are a part of the community, but the ones without question who is currently in the driver's seat is our women. And we have to understand that no revolution, no war can be won without the man being in front. And I fully believe that. That is not misogynist. That is not egocentric. It is just a statement of fact. I was just telling my nephew earlier, irrespective of your personal beliefs and angst, it's a controversial statement, but America won this country fair and square. They stole it fair and square. So in the rules of engagement, you don't battle the women. You battle the men, and you take the strongest out as quickly as possible. And then what do? You reproduce with their women. And if you can't do that, then you kind of just use them as you will and discard them. But that's just war. And it's not to say that we are in war, but it's not to say that we still shouldn't behave as though we have that we shouldn't behave as though we shouldn't at the very least be aware that you know we
It's a
have to keep
race.
our it is a race. You're
It's a
absolutely
race,
correct.
and we got to compete at least,
Yep, yep.
irrespective of anybody's individual beliefs about the current state of affairs when it comes to what I'm saying black people. We still got to compete, and that's one thing that we have not done. That's the one thing as far as men is concerned. And I have to in commemoration of Kevin Samuels, I'm gonna have to start off the way that he started, and that's talking to the men. We are not doing a good job at competing and battling. We have to. We have to battle. We have to battle, and we have to win. We have to overcome. That is that's the what they call the coming of age story of men is to overcome. But we can't overcome unless we meet at adversity. And our adversarial our adversary is not our women. And I think that's kind of like where Kevin Samuels was getting to or was trying to say is that, man, y'all are not our enemy. Y'all are not. Y'all not our competitor. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are not who we have to overcome on a day-to-day basis, but y'all are injecting yourselves into it as though you want to be something that we must battle and overcome. And the thing is that you don't want that fight. You know what I'm saying? Y'all women don't really want that fight because we'll tear your ass up. You know what I'm saying? That's just the reality of it. But yes, as black men, we do have to get comfortable with that word. You know what I'm saying? Compete. We got to compete. We got to battle because they battling against us every chance. Listen, I work in the trades. I've been in the trades for a very long time, and I can tell you with utter certainty, black men, these white boys are looking to take everything you got. It is the day-to-day dream to over to take what you have, and not in the very what is the word? Not in the violent way. No, just in the competitive spirit way. That's all. Just like, okay, well, y'all like to make ribs. Okay, well, I make these type of ribs. You know what I'm saying? These are the conversations I'm having with them. You know what I mean? Or they sit back and they saying, okay, well, you know, my lifelong goal is to, you know what I'm saying, is to be with a black woman. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't know too many black men that has ever said that, but I know tons of white men, right? And where did that come from? It comes from competition. You know what I mean? It comes from competition. That's just what men are. We compete against each other all the time. So we have to get comfortable with that idea, man, of being competitors. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. It don't mean that he hate you and you hate him. It don't mean that. It just means that, hey, man, yeah, I ran faster than you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I lift more than you because that's who we are. We have a competitive spirit, and it seemed like unfortunately black men we kind of want a handicap. You know what I'm saying? We kind of want, you know what I'm saying, a leg up. It's like, no, we got the same that they have. We have the same thing as far as like wits, mind, ability. You know what I mean? We have all of those things. Now we may not have the support, and that's I think that's kind of like where Kev was 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 trying to get our women to do. Is like, all right, well, listen, y'all want us to beat this motherfucker, then when you at least have to be, you know what I mean, the same as his support structure. We
Right.
need the same support structure. You know what I
Right.
mean? We can't run a fucking relay race without any shoes. You see what I'm saying? And that's kind of like what we're doing in the black manosphere or in the black community. We running without the equipment that we need to win. You see what I'm saying? Like we're going to battle without the shit that we need. You feel me? So I get it. I get our women are tired. They this, that, and the third. Well, you know what I'm saying? You did a lot of shit that you did not supposed to have done. A lot.
Agreed. Agreed.
And Kev is coming through and saying and letting y'all know that okay, well y'all did it wrong because y'all four women told y'all wrong. And it just should
Right.
be accepted. They were wrong. Okay? They were wrong. The men that were sitting there just let them go ahead and do their thing because they probably was tired of hearing that shit. Well, when you're Eugene, I'm getting tired of cooking this cornbread by goddamn hand, and 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 I want to get out there and work too, Eugene. And he probably was like, all right, well, fuck it, Earlene, go ahead, shit, fucking tired of this shit.
But you know what? And it's funny that you bring that up because I was thinking earlier, you know, we're at a place where we're at a stalemate, like almost a non-start, because we can't even agree that there's a wrong to right.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
right.
like damn, you know, can we can't even start there. Like
Yeah.
you're obese, and I can't tell you how many times Kevin has talked to women and said men prefer women smaller than them. And just the simple fact that that is true has to be made untrue. It's like the truth is the enemy. And even to talk about your resources that's necessary to run this race. If a man's companion is a woman, then 50% of his power is in her. Can't win this race without you. And that's the combination that he was trying to heal. Now, the delivery, right? Sis, I don't know how many of you all know white men in committed relationships with white women. I don't know how many of you all know Hispanic women in committed long-term relationships with Hispanic men and Arab and Chaldean communities. Uh yeah, their emotions are not considered at all when their man engaged with them. And it's not to say you should want the same, but I think it passes. Oh, I need you to talk to me softly or in a way that shows care and consideration. It crosses over to I want you to talk to me like my girlfriend. And that's just not something men are capable of. It takes a tremendous amount of energy and effort to communicate with women. That's just it. That's just that's how it is. When he talked about how, when women talk, it's spaghetti. Everything is connected. When men talk and communicate, everything is bisectionality. It's waffles. This is over here, that's over here. There's a partition in the middle. Neither of these two shall meet. With women, it's spaghetti. Everything is literally touching, and it all is interconnected. And even with that high level of instability, then you have to put on the fact that you got a battery in your back, and there is no consequence for being uh, um, having no responsibility in terms of behaviors, and not all behaviors, but definitely some behaviors. And a big one, which I shall not mention because it is a hot button topic, but it's something that we definitely need to talk about, which is life deletion in the Black community.
Oof,
But
okay.
that's my my
Over to you,
component.
Wade.
that that is yeah, think about it, man. I mean, not to even dig too far, but imagine if virtually most of your life's important decisions wasn't necessarily your sole responsibility to seek out to be resolved. How you're going to get to the end of your life, what's going to be the quality of your life when you get there. For the most part, women are shielded from this because there are places and support systems that's designed to kind of help them escape that reality. That's not the case for men. And we have to, keep that understood. But when we,
Somebody, you know what? Not to cut you, but somebody said something that women have a glass. Back in the day, you could hear the glass. You would hear the glass ceiling talk. I didn't know what that meant at the time, but you know what I'm saying. It was like, it was explained that women could only go so far. They could see the top, but they could only go so far. So it was a glass
Mhm.
ceiling. But then somebody came through. I think it was Rolo Tomasi, and he said that women have a glass floor, meaning that
Mm,
society is only going to allow women to go only but for so low before,
damn.
before, that false bottom, is revealed. Like, no, women, especially women with children, would
Oh Lord.
never go as low as a single black, white, or whatever, a male you will ever go.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, society will not allow it because, now think about this, Brandon. It's because the world is watching.
Mm.
The world is watching. So the globe will not allow, globally, will not allow women to be treated in a certain manner. There's a standard across the entire universe or world that says that women will never ever be treated um will never be treated with disdain to a certain level. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
that's just out of the question. But men, everything in between, it's
Right.
acceptable, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
We're expendable. We're expendable resources, which is
Right.
fine. It's okay. But his friends benefits that come with that, and we're going to be exploring those things later on that women ain't going to necessarily like, and that's where the you can't have it all conversation comes in, because we
That's
know that
impossible. No, 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 you didn't. No, you didn't.
I
She
did.
can have it all, Byron. She can. She can have it all. She can have her cake and she can eat it too. She can have her 9-inch nails and she can have her wig. She
Okay,
she can she can do exactly what it is. She can eat as much as she want to.
right.
There is
Without the
literally
cholesterol though.
no
Yeah,
huh?
no cholesterol, no high blood
No,
pressure, no none of that, right? Yeah,
no.
she can have all that.
Science does not. Yeah, science doesn't apply. It doesn't. Yeah, the scientific method is wrong. I mean, what? You know what I'm saying? No. What's the saying? The BMI is Eurocentric. Yeah, and scientifically incorrect. Yes, it is. It is. It's completely wrong. And who's gonna redo it? Lizzo. So you know what I'm saying? She's working working with MIT twerkers, and
Right.
they are going to redo the BMI standard, and sisters are finally going to get their stamp of approval that they were healthy all this time, and it was us who had contorted mind
Yeah.
states.
And I was
It's going to
talking to
happen.
my therapist, and my therapist, she made me aware that the reason why I have unhealthy eating habits, right? Like, something about me is that I hate to eat, right? I hate to eat for various reasons, but one overall, it makes me extremely tired.
Yeah.
All right. So when I eat, I immediately want to go to sleep. Right. So if I don't eat at a certain time, I delay it. I just say, all right, the hell with it. I'll eat later on when I'm near a bed. Right. And what she did is she was able to go all the way back to school, and she made a correlation, and she said that the reason why you don't like that, well, the reason why your body shuts you down is because your body is always looking to eat every 3 hours. It was just conditionally made that way ever since birth. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure there's a lot of women out here that um, that you, that can affirm that. You know what I'm saying? When
Right.
breastfeeding and stuff like that, I'm sure it was a 3 hour, 2 hour window or something like that. You know, so
At
it was
least,
very
yeah.
frequent and it was probably every 3 hours. So she said that's what your body is conditioned and looking for. So when you miss that 3 hour threshold, you you put your body into such a stressful scenario, you know what I mean, that when you do eat, it crashes.
Okay.
So she said you got to maintain that 3 hour, you know what I'm saying, thing. So I don't know how that was missed in the black community that we need to eat every 3 hours, you know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
it damn sure was missed
Hmm.
by, you know what I'm saying, in my household to the tune of I can't stand to eat at all.
Hmm.
Like I can't stand to eat. I don't eat all of my food at one time. You know what I'm saying? I spread it up. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a plate in the microwave now. You know what I'm saying? That's been in the microwave since at least 2 o'clock. You see
Oh,
what I'm
wow.
saying? So
Okay.
yeah, I mean I can't stand to eat like that because it just shuts me down. But I have to eat and I have to remind myself to eat. But we have very, very unhealthy practices in our community, in the black community, that we need to really, really, you know what I'm saying, talk about, man, and get real with. You know what I'm saying? Like I was that one, don't get me wrong, man. I was that one and I rejected everything. Everything that came from the white community. Everything. I just sat back and said, you know, blanketed, hey man, you know what? The opposite of them. All right, because I look at them as the most evil thing on earth, right? You know what I'm saying? How can you enslave a people for, you know what I'm saying, what's that, 257 years, right? How can you do that, right? You have to be an evil people. So I'm never, ever going to listen to anything that you have to say. But unfortunately, that puts us at a great disadvantage because not all of them was wrong. You know what I mean? Like some of the things that they discovered and they found out about human evolution and us and black people and just human beings period, we're right and we just need to follow those things. It seems like in the black community we love to recreate the wheel. It's already
Yeah.
created, we just need to build off of it. We don't understand that. So when a person like Kevin Samuels came along and just talking about the shit that had already worked, right, he was talking about pre 1960 and the marriage rates back then and saying, hey man, it worked then and it produced some of the people now that it produced some of the people then that we haven't even came close to having individuals like them now. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like Marcus Garvey, uh, um, um, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, all of the people that you know, all of these people came from strong black families. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? And that's what he was just trying to get things back to.
Right.
Strong black families.
Right.
That's what he was. That was his. Irrespective on how, as your boy Marlon Wayans said, as nasty as the medicine taste. You know what I'm saying? That's what he was talking about. Just taking that
Yeah.
medicine, bro. Just taking that
Hmm.
damn medicine. Sometimes, yeah, man, we're gonna have to grab a little bit from over here, grab a little bit from over there. But we gotta, man, we really gotta look at what the current state of affairs of black people in our community, especially in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where we are, and we really gotta come to heel with that, bro. It's some real shit going on over there, man. like,
It is.
like my God,
It is.
you know
It
what I'm
is.
saying?
And
You're there, Brandon. You know what I'm saying? Like,
mhm.
speak to that.
Yeah, and I see it every day. And I see that we can misdiagnose lack and scarcity as you know uh, getting to the bag, and I'm independent. No, you're lack and you are scared. That's where you are, and that's what it is. And you don't trust anyone else, another man, to take on the responsibility that he is designed for. Now, I literally just heard 80,000 women say, but you niggas don't know how to lead. No, you are terrible at picking. That's really, and that is you just simply look at your results to see what outcomes you work toward. It's not that these men don't know how to lead. You don't choose leaders. And when you don't choose leaders, you get the thing that you do choose, which is an exact opposite of yourself or the exact mirror of yourself. And that's really what Kevin was good at, which is holding up that mirror and saying, hey, listen, the men and the people in your life is just simply an extended reflection of who you are. So once we start taking that medicine, you know what, this is who I am. This is what it is. Yep. You know what? Then now I can change my circumstance. Now, as a sister, I can say, you know what? I need to choose better. And you know what that choose better is going to look like? A lame nigga. He is going to be lame. He's going to stay at home majority of the time. He is going to be on you about how much you spent when you went to Somerset or to what. More often than not, he's helping you clip coupons. He's talking about the sale. He is lame. He plays video games. Some of them don't even know anything about sports. These are the guys who are overlooked. Kevin recently, right before he passed away, talked about the leftover women. And the other component is the looked past men. And the looked past men are the lame ones. These are the guys who literally, we used to be lame dudes. We really were until we went to the extreme crash course, college, doctoral course with Jazz Shelby. And we was forced to, overcome some of those barriers that we had set in by our sisters. Thank you. But
real sisters.
yeah, but you're right, real sisters. You know what I'm saying? Blood sisters. Oh, just open up the door and treat
Be
them right
nice.
and
Be
be
nice.
nice and just do whatever they say, twin. Oh, everything they say. Yeah, just do it all, and it's going to be perfect for you. Yeah, no, but we learned that, and it's a lot of guys who didn't. It's a lot of guys who still
Man,
behave that way.
bro, and that's one of the biggest reasons why we wanted to come up with this podcast is because we wanted to talk to those guys. We wanted to talk to the leftover guys. You know what I'm saying?
The
Because
look past
we
guys.
look
The,
past guys. Because we were on the verge of being those individuals. But
yep.
because he and I live in an echo chamber, meaning that if you say something to him, he's going to repeat it back to me, and it's going to be, you know what I'm saying, that much more magnified. You see what I'm saying? So when my brother said something, my older brother, God rest his soul, when he said something, it bounced back. We didn't forget it. We couldn't because we just repeated it back and forth to each other. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know what Jazz said, X, Y, and Z, do this. Right? And when we did it, it worked. You feel me? So it worked so well that we just kept doing it. He just kept giving us tasks and we just kept doing it. So we became experts at being able to utilize women. You know, since the 7th grade, we've been excellent at it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like what we want to do is we want to give these men a focal point that's not necessarily 100% in the hands of a woman, because I truly do believe that us men have a greater purpose, and that purpose ain't sitting back trying to see how many females we can slay. You see what I'm saying? That's good. Don't get me wrong. That's a great thing to have. Don't get me wrong. It's a great thing to be attractive to a woman, but it's not the only thing. You see what I'm saying?
Correct.
But it is a major component. Now you do got that. You do got to get that shit out of the way. So, and we kind of over here, we want to show you how to do that. We want to show you how to do that, get that out of the way, and then go ahead and build your future, because that's what you need to do. You need to be thinking about your future. But I see that it's a lot of men that only want to be focused about women, which is fine. Don't get me wrong, but that shouldn't be your only thing. And that
Right.
tends to be, you know what I'm saying, some of the most hoest ass niggas on earth are niggas that just bitches. You know what I'm saying? Because they just trying to impress a female. For real. For real, Brandon. You know what I'm saying? Like them niggas, them the worst niggas, right?
They are, man. They
They
are
the worst
vain to
ones, the ones
existence.
that's trying to get the ones that can't get females. That don't
Can't,
know
yep.
how to do it, don't know that's awkward in that way. And they
Sloppy.
right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Them
Yeah.
are the worst niggas in our society. Them the incels. Them that's the nigga that just that did the shooting. I ain't gonna even lie. You know what I'm saying? God rest the dead, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. You know what I'm saying about the souls that's been lost, and I don't mean to minimize it at all. I don't mean to minimize it, but we really got to talk about these motherfucking incels. We got to talk
Yeah.
about it. There is
Yeah.
a solution. I
Hmm.
believe that there is a solution. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that here we kind of got the solution.
So
You
you
know what
so
I'm
you
saying?
mean to tell me that if my man's and it's not to make light of the situation, but I'm
No,
gonna be
not to make
real. I'm
light
gonna
of
say
it.
it. I'm gonna be real. If he had some good pussy to come back to, he wouldn't have went up there and shot nobody.
No, he would. Yeah, he would have what they call post nut clarity.
That's right.
He would have been clear, like, oh nah,
You
man, because tomorrow, nigga, there ain't no females in jail. You know what I'm
None.
saying? None, nigga.
None, and the ones that look like it, you don't want them. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It ain't soft at the bottom. So,
No.
but but the point, and it's not to make light of it, but it's true. This is how incels become radicalized because they focus on not their purpose, but they focus on the woman. And when
What
they
they
feel
lack,
like they're
man.
thrown
What
in
they
the
lack.
towel on women, when they really don't say, oh, you know what, I'm gonna throw in the towel on women and I'm gonna just sensationalize and I'm gonna just radicalize myself behind what was it that he said it was 4chan and all of that craziness.
Right.
You know, nah, man, sit back, chill, pull in some of this game, right? Go out, test the water, see if it works, see if you can increase your sexual marketplace value, and work on your purpose at the same time. He wouldn't have had time to think about no AR-15 and running up to no place, to harm men, women, and children. You know what I mean? But who knows? I mean, that's just I'm just going off of what you said, but you absolutely correct. This is a place where we sat around the lunch table, man. We saved a lot of guys from a lot of headache, man, a lot of heartache. From testing the waters. I mean, I'm talking about peer reviewed scientific experiments with I'm talking about live with the guru on the other phone, coaching us through it, and I'm running back and forth like, hey, listen, 2 seconds ago, you actually just you said the wrong thing, bag that back, or whatever the case may be. And then me and I run back in the jazz room, I'm on the phone and I'm listening to Byron go ahead and do his spiel. And then same thing when I got on the phone. So, we had a real true doctor at this thing. And so much so it's not necessary for us to go out there and test the waters or play around anymore because we got all that stuff out of our system years ago, man. I mean, what it's 20, I'm hitting 23 years with my wife, you hitting, you know I truly
13.
believe y'all
13.
y'all working on like y'all like fifth lifetime, you know what I'm saying, like because like Erica Badu, Andre 3000, lifetime. I mean,
Right.
because y'all so familiar, man. It's kind of like y'all just pressed unpause on y'all spiritual journey. But we got that out of our system, and I fully believe that just the simplicity of what it is for female nature, that if we didn't learn what we learned from Guru Jazz, that our women would have passed us by, right?
For sure.
Because we wouldn't have had the swag.
No, no. And
Because I,
and
cause
and
I watched you get on, Raquel. I seen that. I
it was on
seen, bro, you
purpose.
was in a completely different element. I'm like, look at this. I'm like, look, hey, look at this dude here. Look at him go. I mean, and it was just one after the other. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like Pastor Nate was like, hey, get him. Get him. You know what I'm saying? And Byron was like, challenge accepted, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So, like, man, you don't know how I get down. And Nate even was like, man, your brother might get her. Like,
Like, yeah,
wait a
for
minute. So
sure.
you thought my brother's gonna fail? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So
no.
Yeah, and Pastor Nate was our barber. You know, he was a pastor as well.
Yeah,
So
and
congratulations to
obviously we don't use
Pastor
them
Nate.
anymore.
Yeah. So yeah, we keeping it trill. I say that the hair loss was necessary, man, to show our
That's right.
transition into the real part of our life. You know what I'm saying, which
Yeah,
is building our legacy. And so this is our gift to you all. We want to see all our brothers be successful.
man,
My
bro.
brother Byron just talked about mental health, extremely important. And I apologize, I missed the Black Man Meet meeting that was at 7 o'clock to get prepared for this live stream. I will not miss it next Sunday. And anxiety and mental health is something that's really, really important, that we need to focus on as men, and we need to take it serious. We need to learn these coping mechanisms, and a part of it is to how to deal with rejection. Far too often brothers get rejected, and they feel like it's worth risking their life to say to react. And we teach men how to respond and not to react, to be calculated. Sometimes your best opportunities come in rejection. Sometimes that's just a little handkerchief being dropped on the ground for you, and you just picking up the signal wrong. So we gonna teach all of that stuff, because at the end of the day, we're better than you. Just accept it. I'm just That's not true, man. But you got to feel that way.
It
You know what
is
I'm saying? This
true,
second
man.
code.
Hold on,
You know.
no. First and foremost, no. We got to tell it where it is. Understand this. We are twins. We had a world of experience. By the time y'all turned, I mean, maybe two. You know what I'm saying? We lived a completely different existence, and a lot of it had to do with the fact that you know what I'm saying, we're twins. So we kind of have a different knowledge base. As you can see clearly, I mean, we are not, two Shamar Moores. You know what I'm saying? We are not like ridiculously fucking fine guys. You know what I mean? Yeah, I would say that we are attractive, but we're not. Thank you, baby. But we're not, you know what I'm saying, to the tune of what we seen growing up in school. The niggas that was getting all the attention. But we got a whole hell of a lot, a ton, okay, on our own.
Mm-hmm.
And we got it from the mud. You know what I'm saying? We're dark
Yeah.
skinned men. We had to do things strategically. We always had to think about and calculate our moves, everything. You see what I'm saying? So when we're talking to these guys, which is now 80% of men, it's now
Yes.
at this point 80% of men are now or will be incels, meaning involuntary celibate. You know what I'm saying? And that's across all races of men
Yeah.
will be. So we got to kind of talk to y'all, man, and smooth y'all out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Round these edges. Because y'all kind of yes, y'all moving kind of awkwardly, and I'm looking at y'all like,
Yeah.
ooh, damn, he missed. You see what I'm saying? I'm,
Yeah.
I'm looking at those.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like what we want to do. We kind of want to be the big brothers that our big brother was to us, to y'all.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's what
Yeah.
we looking to do. I mean, we'll tell you the truth. You call in, you ask a question, man. I mean, we gonna bear it all. We'll let you know the truth. You got a question to ask. Have we ever ran trains? Have we ever did this? Have we ever did that? You know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? But hey, sorry.
Let me see. I didn't hear that
Sorry.
anyway. It just cut out, so I didn't hear nothing.
Yeah, sorry. You know what I mean? If it's something that needs to that and I mean, because it's very important. I really do believe that it's important. It's important that, what I'm saying, our brothers get it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that they have a bigger purpose. You know what I mean? And our bigger purpose, we need to move on as quickly as humanly possible. You know what I'm saying?
I
I
agree.
don't want to be on this motherfucker, talking to y'all for 3 years. I would rather it be 6 months of a podcast, you know what I'm saying, live stream service, and y'all go ahead and move on, and everything is right with the world. And we kind of like how we were in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? When it
Right.
was, you know what I'm saying, bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. But we were still taking care of what we had to take care of. You know what I'm saying? As
Right.
men, we was protecting our
Mhm.
mothers, we was protecting our sisters, we was being the men on the block. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't this fuckery going on right now, which is a whole hell of a lot. You know what I mean? A whole lot of unacceptable behavior that's going on right now. Like, man, it's we have a lot of tightening up that we have to do in the black community, dog. And you know, and I'm just here for it. You know, this is what we
Well,
gonna do. You know,
well, it's clear and unambiguous that the each community or every community goes the way of its male, and because men historically in our community, especially as of the last 40 years, um, and we get it. Don't misunderstand what I'm about to say. We get that there was a systemic system that created to disadvantage black and brown people. I get that. I understand that. Um, the problem is it's not enough of us getting up. Yeah, it's okay. We got beat. We beat down. We hurt. You know what I'm saying? And we our wing is a bit clipped, but we gotta get up. Understand fully that we are very intelligent. We have all the books. We've read them all. There is a system that is designed to disenfranchise black men. So what? If we operate with a defeated attitude, the defeat is definite. The definite. That's the only thing that we can guarantee. So, but we got to get this thing out of the way. You know, it's going to seem childish and it's going to seem immature, but men do need the tools necessary to obtain the validation of the opposite sex. That's just how we're wired. You may not understand it, ladies, but unfortunately, that's just how it is. Wholly, probably 70% or more of everything that we do is specifically aimed at achieving the love and adulation and grace and viscous innards. Shouts out to MTR. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how we're wired. We want access to that as often as consistently as possible. And we will do pretty much anything to do that. And of course, we'll talk probably maybe next week. So our sisters could get a better understanding of the cheat, right? We definitely have to talk about the cheat and the fallacy that men cheat more than women, because that is absolutely unequivocally incorrect, and there is data
false nigga.
to back it up. I mean, 100% false. Men do not cheat more than women, and that is impossible by that number you just talked about, Byron. A
Mhm.
20% of the men in the black community is having how many, Byron?
Having sex with 80% of the women.
80% of the women.
That's crazy. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. So it's a lot of motherfuckers that got some answers, you know what I'm saying, some answering to do. I mean, which is
Yeah.
okay. I mean, cuz we just got to be we just coming to the table with you know what I'm saying, coming to the table trying to get our collard greens. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Um, you
Yes,
know,
sir.
well
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I mean, yes, you know, Whitney did say men get caught cheating more. We do. We do because we don't put that much forethought thought into it. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't know.
We'll cheat with anything. We'll cheat with the hole in the wall. Literally. A
Yeah.
hole in the
Yeah.
wall.
If it look good
We will
enough,
cheat with that. If
yeah.
it's wet,
Got that shadow on.
right, if you know what I'm saying, if it's tight, you know what I'm saying? I mean, just as long as I can use my phone while doing it, yeah, niggas gonna do it. I mean, we are men. And I'm at no point am I ever going to sit back and try to make us look like something that we're not. It is true. You know what I'm saying? We do. Pussy is great. You know what I'm saying? It's only one thing greater than pussy, and that's new pussy. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be always. All right. But it has nothing to do how we love. Men and women love completely different. Completely different. I mean, I couldn't sit back if somebody said, "Hey, Byron, man, how many females have you had sex with, and what are their names?" I couldn't tell you. Like if somebody had a gun to my head and say, "Name them all," and be
Damn.
accurate. First thing I'm gonna say is I love my wife and my kids, and my mother and my everything, my dogs. This is what I want y'all to do with my body because I'm not going to remember.
Damn, B, you sound terrible. You sound like Future. Oh Lord,
Bro,
I'm
it's
going
nothing.
to
Hey, listen, it's nothing against them. It's nothing against them. It's nothing against them. It's just how men are. You see what I'm saying? We would have to. I would really have to call like a lot of friends that I don't even talk to on a day-to-day basis and be like, okay, I was with you that night, right? Like, yeah, okay, so we came out of that situation green, right? Oh, okay, so we all got laid. So who did I fuck? I would have to do that.
What? You say we came out of that situation great. Like
Right.
that.
Yeah,
So who what was
we all got, you know what I'm saying, topped off. But nigga, I'd be lying to you if I knew them all. I don't. You see what I'm saying? So we Brandon, we really have to drive that shit home because there's a lot of women that look at that and be like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you cheated, you fucked around with, man, come on, bro. Like, man, like I don't even know if I wiped my ass with Charmin this morning, you know what I'm saying? Or if it was Angel Soft or whatever. I have no clue. And that's kind of how we think about sex. It's just something that we gotta get off of us so we
right?
can think normally. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, let me get rid of this feeling
Hmm.
so I can think normally. That's really
Right.
kind of how men look at sex in a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying? I mean, especially when it comes to somebody that we don't have like an emotional tie with. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, I mean, like we have a lot of shit coming up uh in the future, especially with divorcees, you know what I'm saying, men that's getting divorced, women who got questions about men, and how we think and kind of like our proclivities to certain things, cheating being one or other women being another, you know what I mean? Or like kind of like why do we like certain things? One thing that was crazy to me, I kept hearing, I want to be with bum ass bitches. Y'all want to cheat with bum ass bitches. It's like, yeah, because they easier than you. You know what I'm saying? Like they easier to deal with than you. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, damn, this bitch was pleasant. This bitch woke up and said hello. You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? Yeah, that's new.
And, you remind me of Patrice O'Neal when he said, oh, it's that drunken chick in the corner, in the alley, like, would you risk
Right.
your whole entire relationship? And then you have to think, like, yeah, but look, she looks so cute with the throw up on her, and,
Right.
and
Right.
and
With the
a man
trash
would
on her
really
and
have
shit.
to
Yeah.
think about that, what I'm saying? Look how the trash just, catches her eye, like it's that,
Right.
and it's funny because that's literally how men are wired. That's just how we're wired. It actually isn't. It's biology. It's just something that is a part of our genetic structure. We don't get a week off.
But
We
you know
don't.
what, Brandon? Hey,
What's up?
you know what I noticed? I noticed the girls from what's that thing? The BET thing. The with Vivica Fox and Lisa Ray. They have a big
Something
issue.
something about a
No,
fox
it
fox soul fox
soul
soul.
something.
So yes, yeah. Fox's souls,
Queen
Vivica,
something.
Griselda, Getta, whatever her
Yeah.
name, the Jamie Foxx, so fancy. Yeah,
No, not no. I'm talking
that
about
one.
with no with Vivica A. Fox,
Yes.
Lisa Ray,
Oh, Lisa, yeah.
and
The
Selena.
Brat
Some
sister,
other Raquel telling me I don't know none of these other chicks' names,
Selena,
but just
Selena. Yeah, Selena. Yeah, she got a song I think or something. Yeah, go ahead, Byron.
Who knows? But I'm just saying that, like you could tell that they have a big problem. We already know Lisa Ray had a big issue, you know what I'm saying, with her dude cheating, right? And
Mm.
this nigga's like the sultan of everything or something. I don't know.
Right.
But
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
an
He was like,
island of some shit, like this nigga is like totally amazing, right? And, Vivica A. Fox, she acquiesced as she's supposed to because she was with 50 Cent and she was like 1,000 years older than he is. You know what I'm saying? So she kind of didn't really have any leverage in that relationship and she should have
mm,
acquiesced it, but which she didn't. You know what I'm saying? So now she's trying to pump her fist. But at the end of the damn day, both of them two, which had some disparaging things to say about, you know what I'm saying, our late great brother, Kevin Samuels, they had some ill to say about him. And what I would say to them is get over it. Just get over it. You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't understand that y'all was with men that other women wanted. And you wanted to be with that man because of that fact right there. I said this, I'll never forget. Seventh grade in the lunchroom. Had to be like 1994. I said, no woman wants what no woman wants. No woman wants it.
that's true. That's true.
And with that being said, you have to take with that everything that comes with that. The attention, the every now and again, you know what I'm saying, messing around. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about that in depth because if there's rules when it comes to men, high value men or high sought after men, I should say. Sought after
Yeah.
men. It is some things y'all gotta do too. You know what I mean? Some of y'all niggas be loosey goosey with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Which is whack as hell. You know what I mean? So we gotta kind of talk about, being, you know what I'm saying, being
Disciplined.
yeah, discipline. There you go. That's the word. Discipline. Being disciplined
Discipline.
in your administration of penis. Okay. With these
Yes.
women.
Yes.
All right. You
Yes.
have to be disciplined. We can't
You
be,
must
you
be.
can't be raw, can't just be, just ridiculous with this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
I mean, you have to be. You have to dick decently, and that's
dick decent.
dick
DD.
dick dick indecency.
Yeah, dick and decency. Yeah, y'all in violation. Dick and decent.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
major violations. Flag on every play. All the players. You know what I'm saying? We have to.
I love it. I love this, man. I love this. I see
You
how this is
know.
gonna go. I see
Yeah.
how this gonna go. I see
Yeah.
how this is gonna be very, very this is gonna be very, very interesting, especially if we get more involvement with the women calling in. You know what I'm saying? Understand that like we're trying to do she said where cuz said where y'all get y'all statistics from. It's called black
Uh-oh.
demographic black demographics dot either com dot net dot
.org.
org one of the two dot org
Mm-hmm.
black demographics dot org.
Mm-hmm.
So you should go
And
on
and
to
and what's interesting though, which is for me anyway, what's much more interesting is the CDC. I don't know why the Center for Disease and Control does these statistical analysis, but they do.
yeah they collect man they
They're
collect a lot of
really
information.
interested in a lot of the stuff that goes on in the Black community, and they have them all peer reviewed. They're all available. I mean, you literally can go to the CDC website and look at that. Look at a lot of that stuff, man. Like it's eye opening. But and you know what? They hide it in plain sight. And that's what we have to get away from is the spoon fed method of obtaining information. We have to go out and search for this information and don't take nothing that we say as the gospel. Go search and find it. What Kevin and this is kind of in on our outro on our way out. What really irritated me, and I would say irritation as in, man, I just wish this wasn't the case. I just dislike the fact that there was people dealing with emotion, and really it's difficult to argue with somebody with emotion, who's emotional, because emotions are valid. They're just not right. They're just not the authority of correctness. And he would do, almost entire shows on, when women who talk about how they feel versus what they know. So I'm telling you right now, we're not going to do that. If we get to talking about all of the emotions and all that good stuff, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna turn you off. I'm gonna actually go watch the game. I'm gonna do something to take me out of this black hole that is female emotion. This is not a place where men can play skillfully to any level of excellence. So I'm not dealing with emotion. We're dealing with facts, and we're going to contend with that. That's how we're going to do that. Do this particular platform, because you can create your own platform where you can go off of I feel, um, but let's go off of I researched, and this is what I learned. So if you see anything that is incorrect or inaccurate, or anything you want to challenge in terms of statistics, you got to do a little bit of research, because keep in
Man,
mind,
come,
it's
please.
two minds. It's two of us.
Please, right, right. You have to come, and that's the difference, is that it's two of us. So you can't come with anecdotal bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh well, I did this on this. Okay, yeah. I mean, there's two of us right here. He can speak about his experience, and I can speak about mine, and it's probably going to be similar, very similar. You see what I'm saying? The experience. So you can't come with your bullshit. Now we're willing to talk to anybody. I'm willing to be wrong. I'm willing to be proven wrong. As a matter of fact, that was one of the catch-alls when it came to my older brother about proving what was and what wasn't when it came to dealing with females in middle school. Is he said, "Well, you know what? Do it and prove me wrong." That's what he did. That's how he shut me and Brandon up. It's like, okay, do it, man. Just do it and prove me wrong. Because we was cackling back and forth just like everybody else would, right? You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? When it comes to something that you've never done, you gonna question it. Yeah. And we
Hmm.
did. But he was like, you know what? He got frustrated one day, was like, man, do it and prove me wrong. Just come back and tell me I was wrong. Tell me it ain't work. You know how many times we came back and told that nigga that it didn't work?
No, we was like, please, sir, give me more, please. I am sorry for offending your sensibilities. Please, yes, like come back at 3 o'clock.
Like, man, I'll be on y'all in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
got y'all in the morning. You know what I'm saying? You're
Yeah.
like, yeah, I told you. I told you. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And that's when his chest got big, like, yeah, nigga, see? Nigga, I told you. What I
Hmm.
tell you. You know what I mean? So he hadn't steered us wrong. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But my brother will read. He will read. Didn't finish school. You know what I'm saying? For all intents and purposes, maybe dyslexic. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? ADHD at minimum. But man, this nigga was smarter and on the same level as Kev. I guarantee you. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
As a lot of people that I know, and that's
Yeah.
not taken away from him. That's not taken away from him or Kev. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because the information, like, that goes back to what you said, Brandon, earlier. Information is there. It is. It is there. We read a book. Uh, I read a book in the seventh grade called The Art of Suggestion. The Art of Suggestion. And this was a hardback book, old as Methuselah. I mean, unassuming, nothing, you know what I'm saying? It was no pictures in this damn book, but it taught me on how to mentally project or suggest things. Not even mentally, but just suggest things, right? To get people to do what it is that I wanted them to do in the seventh grade, right? This was dangerous for a nigga that had nothing to do but read. That was completely dangerous. And when I
Yeah.
tell you, it scared me on how immediate the responses was, because you talking about the art of suggesting to people to do things in a certain direction in order to get said result. It was incredibly fucking easy. incredibly easy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know where that book is right now. I tried to find it, tried to relocate it, and I couldn't. So I don't
Yeah, I
even know
did
the
too, man. I think
yeah,
it's on like the CIA watch list or some shit. It got it's on something
yeah,
that you can't get it. It's bizarre, but I do remember that. And to be honest, that helped me in my sales career. Just because that's really what sales is. Even social media. If anybody has an interest in what Byron was just talking about, I think the closest to it is probably The Social Dilemma that's on Netflix. That's a part of it, but that's just a small part of it.
oh
This
yeah,
book went into
yeah,
great
the
detail
algorithm,
about
yeah,
human psychology and things of that nature, especially about, Ben Shapiro would love the fact that this book does prove that there is a male and a female brain.
yes,
It's
it
just
does.
very, very true. But I think we're a little bit over, Byron. I think we're 10 minutes over.
10 minutes,
Um,
yeah, 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 yeah. It's
yeah.
time to get back
So
to this game.
yeah. So
Um,
let's.
Go ahead.
No, no, no.
You
I
know,
said. So I really enjoyed this live for the first one, man. It's going to be mini. But rest in peace, Kevin Samuels.
yeah. Rest in peace,
Thoughts and
bro.
prayers goes out to his family, his daughter, and his friends, and everybody that he influenced. There is a echo left in the image of who he was and what he provided to the manosphere. He's really given men a voice and the courage to speak their truth. And that's just what we're doing.
Right, because we do have a voice. We do have something to say. We do. We have something to say, and we feel as though that, um, as a carbon based organism on this earth, that we have the right to speak what we like, what we don't like. That's what we really do believe that. And largely our voices have been shut it out, you know what I'm saying, minimized, suppressed, repressed, or whatever the case may have been, for whatever reason. And what Kevin did for me, and I'm sure he did the same thing for you, he reminded me of that brotherly spirit. You know what I'm saying? That brotherly over, you know what I'm saying? That guy. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? He reminded us of that. You know what I'm saying? What we missed, unfortunately, my brother passed a couple years ago, and he was a breath of fresh air because, unbeknownst to a lot of people, that's how we talked. We just talked that way. We didn't talk any other way. We didn't bullshit around. You know what I'm saying? We just got straight to the point. And it was never a soft moment. The soft moment came on the phone when we was about to get off, and he said, I love you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Birthdays or something like that. Other than that, man, it was some hard ass motherfucking facts, bro.
that's true.
It was
Yeah,
hard. It
yeah,
was hard. You see what I'm saying? You
yeah.
had you had to take it and eat it and be like, ooh, oh, okay, it's gonna make me better tomorrow.
Right.
And that was the thing that we miss. That's what I felt left. You know what I mean? Was that big brother? You know what I mean? That big uncle. You know what I'm saying? That protector spirit. That all of that. You know what I mean? My dad. That's one thing I will say about my family, man. We had great examples of that. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying?
agree.
My dad. You know what I'm saying? My dad was a warrior. You know what I mean? So was my brother Jazz. You know, and so was Kev because he battled every damn night, bro.
Yeah,
That nigga
yeah,
battled, bro. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? That nigga was out there battling. You know what I mean? So we gonna battle too. We gonna battle too. How,
No pun intended. We gonna battle too. No pun intended.
so yeah. So let me go ahead and send this out before we get off. I mean, because we got the football season coming up. I mean, we are like huge football, baseball, basketball fans. We're sports fans, and you know what I'm saying. My homie Whitney, she got sports talk with Whitney B. You know what I'm saying? She's going to be on Tuesday at 7 p.m. You know what I'm saying? She'll be streaming as well. So that's every
Whitney.
Tuesday at 7 p.m. And that girl know her shit. Like I,
Yes.
boy, it was we had what was it a park a driveway situation, and I thought that we were just gonna run her over with just a whole bunch of statistics and
No.
facts. Woo,
No.
woo.
Whew.
Boy, she
That.
came back like this.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, Whitney. Okay, all right, yeah,
Yeah.
she on the level.
Everybody. You know how it is when you start pulling out your fellas just started pulling out their phones and bagging up like, oh, let me do some money. Hello.
They knew they had met.
Hello.
I mean, because
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
female that's in the
Yeah.
sports is a dangerous woman, boy. That's a
Yeah.
dangerous woman, man. I mean, a woman in sports, a dude in sports, man. Okay, yeah, man. We hear these statistics, dog, man. We done heard these statistics all our lives, right? You know what I'm saying? And some of it may have been wrong, but
Mm-hmm.
a woman in sports, they gonna make sure that they are right about everything. No, that nigga did not run a 440 in whatever. You know what I'm saying? They this and that third. So and so was faster. Like she to that point. You know what I mean? So y'all check her out. Check her out, ask questions. You know what I'm saying? She has a lot of behind the scenes situations, contacts with people, players, and all that organizations. She has relationships with, you know what I'm saying, with the Lions organization or whatever. I know people don't really too much care about that, but you know what I'm saying? But she does have relationships behind the scenes. So maybe that would be a nice little avenue to connect some dots if it need to be. You see what I'm saying? So go ahead and go over to her page. You know what I'm saying? Her, you can contact her, Whitney Tinsley, or Sports Talk with Whitney B. You know what I mean? So y'all gonna catch us later. We kind of went a little bit over. We'll have it a little bit more structured later on. We're gonna do reaction videos. We're gonna talk about shit that's going on, current state affairs, all of that stuff. I mean, we doing it. We're gonna do it all. We're gonna do it all. We're gonna do, eventually we're gonna do a live in studio with me and my brother, where we're gonna, where we're gonna make sure that we together, kind of, not like this, because I don't like it. But we're gonna do that. We're gonna have, the younglings, because we do want to hear from our young brothers. You know what I'm saying? My nephew, which is standing off to the side right now. I want to hear about what's going on in that world. Um, and we know what I'm saying, we just go we want to give up game. We want to get some game. You know what I mean? And we just want to move this thing forward and keep on, you know what I'm saying, in a positive light. I know some people feel a certain type of way about Kev, but we not here to denigrate my mans. You know what I'm saying? We here to celebrate him. Sorry.
Right.
And if you got
Yeah.
something to say about
And
that,
if
come
there's
on over here.
right,
We
and
can talk about it.
if there's any misunderstanding, if anybody missed it, we support our brother Kevin Samuels. There's no misunderstanding on that. So know that you're coming to a platform that support him. Okay,
Exactly.
is that simple?
Exactly. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we'll have like outros and shit like that, more structured, but this was kind of like just a impromptu, hey, this is what we doing. We doing this just to let y'all know, you know what I'm saying? And that's it. So
Yep.
thank y'all for listening out, and
Vitamin
y'all hear
D.
more.
We out.
Yeah, vitamin D.